So, how do you switch from one facility to another, from one psychiatrist to a therapist, a different therapist? Um, After everything I was through with my first ones, I decided to switch. And I recently met with my new psychiatrist, and she's great. She asks my input. She wants to know what my goals are. And when it comes to medication, she tells me that I should take it when I feel that it's the best to take it, not by like 2 in the morning, not like 2 a.m., but like 2 pills in the morning. If I feel like taking one in the morning and then one in the early afternoon or late morning, to try that. Um, she gives me a lot of really good advice on when to take my medication and how. And they're just basically suggestions, I found out, because of the fact that she said, it's my bus, I need to drive it. Meaning I should try out different ways and different things and find out what works best for me. And I found that to be really interesting, because usually it's take it take this time, take this at that time, take this at that time. It's usually, really strict, where she puts you in the driver's seat of your own health, which I found to be really interesting and really, um I don't even know the word I can put on that. But yeah, I still am stuck on that one. But I don't want to say responsible, but yet you know your body. So do what your body tells you to do. Okay, if this medication doesn't feel right in the morning, try taking it in the afternoon. If it, the side effects and things like that. If it doesn't feel right in the afternoon, try taking it in the evening. Try taking it with food if it upsets your stomach. If it gives you a headache, try taking it before bed. Things like that. But, her bottom line was, it's your bus, you drive it. And in a way, it's kind of scary, because it's like, okay, you kind of experiment. Well, you have the choice. You can either take it the way that it's prescribed, which a lot of doctors say you do that. You don't have a choice. But with her, you have a choice. You can take that medication when you feel like you should, and you kind of experiment with it and try different times of the day and afternoon and evening. Try, I'm not saying take two of a certain kind. It depends on the medication, of course. But, certain ones, try taking different times and see how it makes you feel. So I found that to be really interesting and really helpful, to know that I can drive my own bus. I don't have to go by the rules, because I'm a rule breaker, but that's beside the point. Um, no, I like to have options, and she leaves it open for you to do what you feel is best. And I found that to be really interesting. I've never, I'm going on 40 years of therapy and, all this. And this is the first time that I really come across this, of do what you feel your body wants to do or needs to do, or what feels the best, what doesn't make you sick, what doesn't, what seems to work best for you. So I really found that interesting. And so, I'm trying to do different things, nothing drastic, just little changes here and there to see, okay, do I feel better if I take it at this time, or do I wait and take it at this time and it makes me feel best then. So it's been a real eye opener, and I've only seen her twice now, and she is really good. She wants to see me every month. Um, I met my new therapist today, and it was what she called and what I called intake, where they ask you, well, she's got my chart of my medications, but she goes over them. No, she didn't actually, but she asks all the, I call them the psych questions, like, your appetite, your sleep, your mood, all that, your history of abuse, of trauma. She didn't even ask trauma. I'm trying to think because it was only like a half an hour, 45 minutes. Um, and I talk a lot. So I would try to explain things to her. And she's like, we'll get there. And now I don't see her for like a month and a half because she's the only therapist there. And then my doctor is the only psychiatrist there. And coincidentally, David goes and sees them too. They just don't know it yet. So we're just going to go. We just decided we're going to go and we're going to be ourselves. And eventually, I would imagine they're going to figure it out. And by then, they're going to realize that this has been going on the whole time and there hasn't been a problem. So we don't see any issues. And if there is, we'll deal with them then. So, yeah, the transition was easy. I ignored the old one because I knew eventually the new one would be requesting my records from the old one, and the old one would get the picture that I'm done with them. And I'm happy about it. I'm happy. It's a much longer drive, but I'm finding out it's well worth it. I feel like I'm going to get the help that I need. I don't, I explain to her that because they always ask me, why are you here? They always want to know why you're there. And I always say, I need somebody to vent to. And today I asked her, she's around my age. I just turned 53. And I'd say she's around my age. And I said, I've been doing this for about 40 years. I said, how long have you been doing this? And she goes, 22, 23 years. I said, oh, I might be able to teach you things. I was joking, kind of. But it isn't unheard of that I have taught therapists and psychiatrists things they never thought of or they didn't know. That's fun. It kind of gives me an ego trip. I'm not going to lie. But she was real nice. She, yeah, I can't say anything bad about her. I can see that we're going to get along fine. She just, would ask me all these questions of my history, and I would answer them. And there are times, when you, like, when you're young and you go and start seeing a therapist or whatever, and I did this myself, and that's how I know. You go in and you lie. You tell them what you think they want to hear. Well, over the years, I've learned that lying to them doesn't get you anywhere and it doesn't do you any good. And it's best to, for once, I shouldn't say that. It sounds like I'm a liar all the time. At the time I was, though. I would tell them what I thought they wanted to hear to help me, and found out that by not telling the truth, I wasn't getting the help that I needed. So, whether it's good or bad, it's extremely important to tell the truth. Um, like I said, whether it's good or bad, if you're thinking about suicide, tell them. That doesn't mean they're going to hospitalize you. That means they're going to evaluate the situation and see why, and see maybe there's something medically wrong with your medications. It could be that simple. Maybe there's an issue at home that they can help fix. Um, just because I don't want to say just because, if you're feeling suicidal, they maybe can talk to you and find out why and help you get out of that feeling and that situation. So, like I said, whether it's good or bad, it's very important to tell the truth. And it took me years to figure that out, um, how important that really is. Like I said, even if it's bad or you think it's bad, I always figure like most doctors, they've heard it all, they've seen it all, yeah, there are things that they haven't. And sometimes I surprise them, and that's always usually pretty funny. But I'm not trying to make a joke out of it. It's just she was facing not away from me, but I was like facing like this, and she was sitting over here facing her desk and her computer because she was putting things in. And I would say things, and I could see her chuckling, and it's just like, okay, well, that's good, because it was about the fuck it 50s. When you hit 50, fuck it, you don't care. Um, you just are who you are, and you do what you got to do, and fuck it is pretty much it. She's like, yep, I'm there. And that made me laugh. And the other thing, she went and she said something, and it made me cry, and the Kleenex were right there, and I said, well, the one thing I can say about you that you're doing good, you keep the Kleenex where the person actually needs it. Because I've had therapists that keep it across the room. And it's like, well, I can't really reach it over there. Or they'll keep it on their desk. And if you start to cry, then they'll put the box next to you. And it's like, well, if you would have, and I know my last one, not my last one, my one before we moved, I'd go into his office, I'd grab the box of Kleenex, and I'd put it next to me. Because his thing, he was funny. I'm like, when I'd leave, I'd be like, I don't feel like we accomplished anything or much. And he goes, well, I made you cry. So he felt like, I can't say he felt like if he made me cry that was successful, but that meant he got some of my feelings out, and we touched on some things that I needed to deal with. But just the way he would say it, oh, I made you cry. Yeah, thanks. But anyway, I just want to make a short video, and I'm going to get to my writing. I've been doing a lot of that. It's very therapeutic. It winds my brain up so tight, and that doesn't sound good, but no, I'll take that back. It gets my thoughts out on paper, and well, I'm typing it on my computer, but it gets my thoughts out for that day, and then I get really tired and I'm ready for bed. And the other night I was in bed before 10, and I'm one who usually stays up all night. You guys should know that. I'm good for that. But yeah, I was in bed before 10, and now David's looking around for me going, well, where are you? He even came over to me and he's like, it's not 10 o'clock and you're in bed? And I was just like, I was sleeping. Yeah, I still fall asleep up here in my chair. That happens. But I mean, just having that release of thoughts and things like that um, really is relaxing and helps me to unwind and get tired and sleep. I've been sleeping. I don't get to where I'm up for 3 days and crash for 12 hours. Um, I woke up, I think last night. I think I fell asleep in here or something. and it was 6:30, and I'm like, come on, be AM, you know, because I wanted to have that deep sleep or that good sleep. And it was PM, and I'm like, no, I wanted it to be AM, and then I slept that long. But anyway, whatever. So yeah, you know, like I said in one of my other videos, it's K KDP, and it's on Amazon. If you just type in KDP, you can write books, you can make coloring books, and you can sell them on Amazon. And you upload them, and they check them over. And I've got my 3 books. I'm waiting. Those are just the proofs. I didn't know at the time that you order the proofs and look them over, go online, fix what you don't like, submit it, and then you're good to go. So I ordered the proofs, looked them over, and said, this is shit, and went and fixed them. And then I ordered the author's copy, and that's actually the one that I should have originally, I think, ordered. I don't know. I don't know what the status of those is. I'm waiting. The author's copy is what, if somebody would order those books, that's what they would get. So I'm kind of anxious to see, did I do a good job this time? But you do get better with time. And it does. It's not just a hobby. You make a little bit of money. And if you do really good, you can make a lot of money. I'm on SSI. I'm really hoping to do such a good job. I know this is wishful thinking, but there's nothing wrong with thinking positive for once. And I'm hoping that they do really well, and that I can get off of SSI. That's my dream. And cleaning up my credit. And I'm not gonna lie, when you're on SSI and you don't have jack shit, you want to make more money so you can maybe get ahead. Is that possible? Um, but get somewhere and not be stuck under the government's thumb. So that's my goal, and it's good to have goals. So set some goals for yourself, even if they're small goals. Try to set goals. I'm finding that I'm setting goals for myself, and I'm accomplishing them, and I'm really proud of that. So try to set some goals. Maybe just, if that means getting around to changing the toilet paper roll, that's a goal. Because it doesn't always happen in this house. And there are times I'll leave it to see how long it'll take for him to change it. And if he doesn't change it, I finally get around to it. But there's a lot of things that I have goals and I don't meet them, but I don't give up. I either hit the reset button and try again, or find a new goal. But writing for Amazon has been such a, I don't know, it just makes me feel really good, even though I have no idea how well my books are going to sell. I'm not necessarily doing it for that. I'm doing it for me. It's helping me get out some of that energy that's stuck in my brain. There's a lot in there. But you can write about anything. I'm trying to do a children's book, and it's not coming out so well. Yeah, I want to give up on it. Am I? No, I will try. Every so often, I'll try and fix it and see if I can figure it out. But thus far, I haven't been able to. But that doesn't mean I'm going to give up altogether. I'm just trying to choose, do I want to do my romance novel tonight, or do I want to do my poetry? Because now this will be my 4th book of poetry, and the first 3 were rather good by what others have said. So they say you can only get better with time. Well, I'm 53, so I must be fantastic. Like fine wine. Um, yeah, along with the Kool-Aid that I drank last night, I had sick of my iced coffee, so I had some, uh, I had made Kool-Aid. The last few times I had Kool-Aid, it made me sick to my stomach. And I don't know if I added too much sugar or what. And then this time I added too much sugar, but I just drank it slow. And we're getting off topic, except there's one thing too that I want to share because I'm a sharing kind of person. Um, I know I told you that I have the two female beer dragons. Sonic is my big girl, and Java's my little girl. And then my buddy Echo, he went into brumation, which is hibernation, and he was in it for like 3 months, and now he's out. And I was so excited. I was so happy when he came out because he came out and then he went back in, and I'm like, no, what are you doing? And then he was back in just for a short time, and now he's out. And I put my hand under him today. And this, even when I had my Aspen, who I was really close to, she was my bearded dragon that was my numero uno. She technically was my second one, but my first one, she died from a um, congenital. She was born with problems with her jaw, so she couldn't eat. So I had to put her to sleep. And she was just a tiny baby. And I should have taken her back to the pet store and say, you sold me a defective animal. But I was so devastated because I felt like I failed. But neither here nor there. Um, Aspen was my number one because I raised her to full adulthood. And her and I did everything together. I have videos of her. I have pictures like crazy of her. I was crazy about that beer dragon. And she ended up getting mouth cancer. And I had to put her down. But anyway, I would teach her to do stairs. I potty trained her not to go to the bathroom in her enclosure. I taught her a lot. So with Echo, also today, I went to rub under his chin, and he climbed in my hand. And I'm like, are you serious? This never happened. He just climbed in my hand. He wanted to be by me. And I almost cried. I might have cried. I'm not sure. But I've never, out of all the ones I've never had one climb into my hand. And it just made me feel like I might be doing something right. Or he's going to die. No, no. I didn't think that at all. I just, it's one of those when something is too good to be true, you question it like that much. But yeah, he climbed into my hand and I'm just like, it was the most amazing feeling ever. Wow. When it came to my bearded dragons. So anyway, that was the highlight of my day. Was Echo climbed into my hand on his own. And I know what he's up to. He's after those girls. He wants, I never really let him run around the house. I let Sonic, she'll run around the house. But with the puppy, I don't trust letting her run because I don't know what the puppy will do with her. So we're working on that, getting the puppy used to the beer dragon. So I let him run a little bit, I think yesterday, and came home and found him pinned up against the wall. He was uncomfortable, poor guy. But yeah, he climbed into my hand today, and I couldn't have been happier. It just never happened before. So, I mean, with any of them. So I was just over the moon. Yeah, I was really happy. So with that, I hope you have a good rest of your week. And if you have any questions, comments, um, subscribe. That'd be fantastic. I'd love it. You know that. I pray and wish for that all the time. Every one of you makes me feel important, like I'm maybe doing something right, that I may be helping somebody. And that's my goal. I tell people I have this channel. I don't tell them where, but I say, I have a YouTube channel, and it's to try and help people with mental illness and mental illnesses. And they think it's fantastic, um, because I'm trying. I'm trying to get the word out. I'm trying to help people. I am trying to break the stigma. So anyway, I already said goodbye. I say goodbye like 5 times, but this is it. Have a good one.